The first one is all or nothing thinking. This is when we see things in black and white. For example, I didn't get the job, I'm a total failure. Very black and white. Now, overgeneralization can creep in, which is taking one negative event and applying it to everything, like saying, I always mess it up. I always mess things up after just one mistake. Then we have mental filtering. This is when we focus only on the negative aspects of a situation and filter out all of the positive ones. For example, when giving a presentation, we might focus on the information we forgot to share rather than all the amazing details that we did. Then we have jumping to conclusions, assuming the worst without evidence. For instance, they didn't text me back, they must hate me, or they didn't laugh at my joke, I'm so unfunny. And then we also have catastrophizing. This is where we're blowing things out of all proportion. I made a typo in that email, I'm going to get fired, or I'm going to fail this test and never get into university. So ask yourself, do any of these sound familiar to you? I bet some probably do. We've all been there. So to start recognizing your own negative self-talk, I invite you to try this exercise. For the next 24 hours, I want you to notice your self-talk. Don't try to change it yet, just notice it. You're going to be shocked at how often you're beating yourself up. Remember, pause and listen to your inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself? And when you can, write it down. You see, you might be surprised at how often you're engaging in these patterns without even realizing it. Remember, recognizing negative self-talk doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. In fact, it's the first step towards positive change. It's almost like shining a light in the corner of a room. Once you can see it clearly, you can start to clean it up. The same with our minds. So for the next 24 hours, I want you to start becoming aware of your inner critic. What's it saying? How often is it showing up? How often is it speaking to you? So now let's talk about this friend comparison. It is a game changer. So last year, one of my friends didn't get a promotion that she really wanted. And when she called me, was I like, well, guess what? You're not cut out for it. No way. I told her she was amazing, that it was their loss, and we started planning her next move. So why is it that we can be so kind and understanding to our friends, family, and loved ones, but so harsh and unforgiving to ourselves? This discrepancy is at the heart of what psychologists call self-compassion. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you mess up, stop and ask yourself, what would I say to my best friend in this situation? Then say that to yourself. It's that simple and that powerful. Remember, you are your own lifelong companion. Shouldn't you also be your best friend rather than your worst enemy? Being kind to yourself isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for mental health and your personal growth.